Ozigi Chronicles. This is episode number 7. I'm your host, Munir Ozigi, and I hope all of you are doing well. I hope you guys are getting ready for the, school to start. And I think a lot of you guys are going to go back to school. I don't know if you guys are going to upstate, but I know some of my friends who go to Delaware and Howard are going back to school, because of this COVID shit is finally, dying down, I hope. And yeah, I don't know. We're going to talk about that later. But unfortunately today we don't have a guest, so you're going to be hearing my beautiful voice only. And, I just hope that everything goes well. Because this is my first time doing this video and audio solo. Because my previous guest, this was the first time I tried this video thing out. But it seems like it was really receptive. It really got, good views. And it seems like you guys liked it. So yeah, I'm happy to do more podcasts and stuff like that. And today we have numerous topics to talk about, from soccer stuff, which I'm gonna try to put video chapters on YouTube. So if you wanna just tap your screen right now, you're probably gonna see video chapters on what topics I talk about, so you can skip. So maybe if you're not don't want to listen to a topic, it's not soccer is not everyone's cup of tea. So if you don't want to talk about or listen to me talk about soccer, you could tap and just skip to the other things that I talk about that you are interested in. But we're going to be talking about first, New York City. This week the city started, or they said plans to start checking out vaccine passports. In a way, no, they check out the paper that indicates whether you had a vaccine or not at the diners and indoor dining and gymnasiums all over the city. I think it's gonna start September. I think beginning of September, when the school season starts. I read it in the New York Times today. So that's the first thing we're gonna talk about. New York City asking for vaccine passports in a way, and it's been stirred up a lot of arguments on if it's constitutional or if it's government overreach or it's the right step in this right direction, because this COVID thing has been going on for a minute now. COVID, I think, started I believe January. That's when that's when I started here in January, and it came to gain momentum until March, when it shut everything down, shut workplaces, businesses, offices, every single thing, and it changed basically. It's changed a lot of things now. Honestly, like, COVID has basically changed the world, and no one expected it in any way, shape, or form. People are talking about socialism is on the rise now here, especially in the United States. What else? People are working from home now, and school, there's more more emphasis on learning online now. So even when kids go back to school, they're still gonna maybe test online stuff out. So COVID just really changed everything, and it told us how we could see certain things. And yeah, so yeah, when I heard of it, I was like, oh wow, like, this is, I don't know, like, I really don't have an opinion on it, because I got jabbed for my first dose right now. I don't have my second dose, but I go to school in the city, and I have to get the vaccine and stuff like that, because safety and everything. Everyone wants to be safe. So I got my first vaccine in the CVS, like a couple of blocks away from here. And yeah, like, it wasn't really something I was really emphasizing. Now, when the vaccine came out, I was okay. I'm a healthy male. I really didn't want to get the vaccine really quick. There was not an emphasis on getting the vaccine really quick. But then it just became a whole divided thing. If you didn't get a vaccine, people are going to turn on you like, oh, you're not getting the vaccine. So I don't know. But I feel like normal people, like the majority of people, like, if you don't get a vaccine, I really don't care. I'm sorry. I don't participate in all that group shit. Like, if you don't, oh, this is the vaccine, I'm pro-vaccine or anti-vaccine. Like, if that's you, that's just all you. I just don't want to participate in all of that. But a lot of people, like, I go on Twitter, I read a lot of comments, I read a lot of what people say, and people basically there are two different sides to the story. Some people saying this is government overreach. When is it gonna stop? And people should, like, that. I feel like every opinion that everyone has, you should think about it and try to understand it, and instead of just like dismissing it. So I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, that's true. Because in America there's this culture of not trusting governments, which is. That's another conversation too, because if you don't trust the government, you will not take the vaccine. But there's a lot of people taking the vaccine, especially if you're conservative. You're taking the vaccine, you're kind of going against yourself, because people like you don't trust the government, and if you're taking the vaccine in a way, it's kind of like clashing ideas and stuff like that. So that's the thing, you know. At the rate that the vaccine came out, like so fast, like, you know, a lot of vaccines takes a couple of years to come out, but this COVID one really took a short period of time to come out, and we don't know the long-term effects of it. So like all of this is still new to us, you know. So in a couple of years we'll see, you know, you see how everything plays out. But right now everything's still so fresh to us, everything's just still new to us. New York right now rolling out the vaccine, it's really odd, and I'm gonna predict that a lot of cities are probably gonna take the lead, probably take a book out of take a page out of New York's book and start doing the same thing New York is doing. And a lot of people are gonna complain, some people are gonna be, you know, okay with it. But it's always, I think everyone has a question, like, you know, when does the government, like, what border do you draw between the government, you know, doing things? Because big governments, I don't know, like, since I've been in America, I've just been obsessed with this culture, like small governments or big governments. It shouldn't be about small or big, it should be about effective governments. But I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, the culture that I've been in for the past decade, bro. And I hear a lot of politics, a lot of people who's like small government, big government. It really shouldn't be about. Government it should just be effective. It shouldn't be matter of size. It should just be effective. And there are some countries where big governments are good, but, you know, there's some countries where big governments are bad. So it's just the people in power, and, you know, you have to be effective. Government is important, very, very important. And, you know, like, if you don't have government, it's going to be anarchy, and, you know, you need to keep order and stuff like that. So for this topic, like, I really don't know, because there is some good, you know. We want people to be safe, we want people to, you know, go out and not think about having to contract COVID and bringing it back to their home, bringing it back to their grandpas, the older people, and, you know, killing them off, because they're the one who are more vulnerable to COVID than us, the youngsters. So they're both sides. Like, I could see why people think, oh, the government is, you know, going overboard with, you know, COVID and stuff. And there's some people like, I don't care, I want to be safe, I want to go out dining and, you know, have a good time without having to worry about my safety. So what it boils down to is I don't know, I hope the effectiveness of all this, you know, because the government wants to do something good. They're trying to do something good, and in their mind, they're the good guys. But there are, you know, people who are thinking government's overreach and stuff. What I would say is, like, I think everyone has to be careful, because I think in history, time and time, there are governments that will take your rights, like, a little by little, and no one knows about it. Then, like, when you look back, you're like, oh shit, like, I don't have this much rights and stuff like that. But I don't know, I think I'm chatting right now. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so I don't know. Like, at one point in time, everyone has to just be on the lookout. You have to be aware, like, how much is the government taking from you? How much, you know, things can you do, can you not do? Because there's some people, are we gonna reach a state of, you know, of fear and shock where, like, you can't go to the store if you're not vaccinated, you can't do this and that if you're not vaccinated? Like, isn't America a personal choice then? Like, I understand, like, if you don't want to get a vaccine, don't get a vaccine. If you want to get a vaccine, get the vaccine. But then it's like, what line do we draw between government, you know, overreaching and saying, since you're not vaccinated, you can't do A, B, and C? So I feel like that's what people have to look out for, you know, because, you know, if governments are gonna get uncomfortable with, if, you know, just being in the lives of people, they're gonna want more power over your lives, you know. And I feel like there has to be a line, like, especially in every society. There's some societies where people, you know, prefer the government being in control of everything, and there's some societies where people, you know, are a little bit more, you know, want to be more individual, and, you know, just let the government stay out of the houses and bedroom. So it's really something, man. And I was talking with one of my friends, and he told me about a story of how he went to the barber shop, and he was saying that the barber was like, oh, it's really weird how the government is pushing this COVID thing like never before. Like, for I don't think for any other diseases or anything they ever pushed out a vaccine like this. Like, I don't think for polio, which was wreaking havoc in the world back then, they never pushed the vaccine like this. But I guess COVID is just something new, something dangerous, and this Delta variant coming out now. So yeah, I don't know. Like, it was really skeptical. I'm like, why is the government pushing this, you know, COVID vaccine so quick, so like like they really want you to get it, like it's, you know, now or never, you know, and like there's so many incentives. And I believe Bill de Blasio too, he said that he's gonna give here's an incentive of $100 for New York people who get the vaccine. So that's kind of, well, skeptical to me. It was like, you know, it was just I was like, I don't know, it was just like, whoa, like you really want us to get it at all costs. But I really don't know, man. I feel like in New York City, maybe if you're a private business and if you want to have, you know, if you have an option to have this rule that the mayor has put out of checking whether people have vaccines or not, like maybe it's up to them. I don't know. We're gonna see how this whole thing plays out. But I'm gonna just say everyone should just be careful and, like, you know, like not make the government be in total control of your life, and hopefully it doesn't come to a point where the unvaccinated people are like they can't do things that vaccinated people can, because I don't think 100% of people are ever going to be vaccinated. There's so many factors that play into people getting vaccination. You know, I don't think in the future 100% of people are going to have COVID vaccination. So what are the small percentages that don't have vaccine? They don't have the vaccine, like maybe they have allergies or something, or maybe they don't have access to it somehow, or I don't know, maybe like there's some shit that some way somehow they can't get the vaccine. So I'm like, what's gonna happen to them? But for this, I guess they just want people to be safe. I mean, at the end of the day, the government want people to be safe, and you know, I guess this is a way they're doing it. But as I said, I think everyone should just be careful about government overreach and stuff like that. And yeah, I think a lot of maybe other cities, especially with this Delta variant, because no one really knows if this Delta variant is going to be as deadly and, you know, is going to be as, you know, effective in changing our lives like COVID did. Because when COVID came, no one really thought of it seriously. I really didn't think about it seriously. I saw it on CNN and I was like, oh, it's in China and stuff. Then a couple of months later, I was home 24/7 because of COVID. It came to the country. And yeah, I hope it is a step in the right direction, and I hope as Americans we could start trusting the government a little bit, and I feel like with this vaccine stuff we could start trusting the government a little bit. So, you know, if this vaccine thing works out all well and, like, you know, COVID infections go all the way down, I feel like it's a new step in the direction for American trust in the government. So that's really good. So yeah, because I know a lot of Americans have distrust in the government, which I'm really not surprised about. But like, hopefully things like this, I'm just hopeful, like in a long term, maybe the government could be seen in a good light, and people could have trust in the government and stuff like that. And you know, talking about COVID, as I said, I got my first jab. Also, I want to talk about something else. Sorry. I was talking with some other guy too, and he was like, I was saying, like, I really don't know when this COVID thing's gonna end. Like, okay, you get a vaccination, but you still have to wear masks, and it's like, and you have to social distance and stuff. I'm like, if you get your vaccination, aren't you supposed to be protected? But apparently you don't get protected. COVID, you can still get COVID, but it's not gonna be as deadly as if you were not vaccinated. So it's like, when is this whole thing gonna end? When is this whole social distancing and masks? Because I don't think we can do this for the rest of our life. And yeah, so people say masks are a minor inconvenience, but like, I'd rather just not wear a mask and just return to how things were in 2019, you know. But I really don't know when this is gonna end, because okay, I'm vaccinated, but when I go into public spaces, I still have to put my mask on, and it's like, bro, I'm vaccinated, so like, and if I do get it, it's not gonna be as deadly as it will be if I wasn't unvaccinated. So I don't know. I really, this whole thing, like, I don't know. It means that I'm tired of it, honestly. But hopefully in the near future we have a solution to all this. And yeah, man. So next topic is on returning to college. I feel like most of my viewers who are youngsters, you guys go to school, you guys are in college, and most of you are getting ready to go to college right now. Most of you going out of state. I hope you guys are preparing, buy your stuff, buy your book bags. I'm staying in state, so I'm gonna be commuting from home to my college, and this is my first time, because I've never ever seen my college in person. Maybe for like 2 seconds, because I was in the area and I just drove past through, so I just caught a glimpse. But I've never ever stepped foot. I've never ever like touched the, you know, I've never been set foot on the college. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. I've only seen the colleges from the internet and, you know, just like, you know, explore with the 3D Explorer stuff. But yeah, I've never I think I'm going to college after I get my second dose, because I say they're requiring us to get the 2 doses before we go, unless you get in the Johnson & Johnson, which I believe is 1 shot. So yeah, it's been a tough year. I was looking at my Snap, and a year ago today we officially graduated from college, from high school, because COVID pushed our graduation ceremony from, we were supposed to graduate in June. Then this whole COVID thing came. Then we graduated in August 7th of last year. So I think officially today I reached 1 year of being a high school graduate, if you're talking like literally, because it was a year ago last year where I finally got my diploma. Like they handed it to me. And you know, I wish the best of luck to you guys going to college. I hope you guys having a fantastic year. It's gonna be my first year meeting people face to face and actually, like, you know, talking with them, because this past year was really hard, man, especially in online school. I hated it so much. I hated waking up. Sometimes I would just, like, you know, put my thing on and go back to bed. But there were some professors who were really smart and were like, oh, I'm gonna check y'all motherfuckers. I'm gonna check every single, like, maybe like every 10 minutes they'll be like, oh, they'll ask you a question or something like that. Or maybe if you're being quiet the whole class, they'll ask you a question through the laptop, and you know, you have to answer. If you don't answer, it'll just mark you late or mark you absent. So you know, I had to kind of watch out, because they outsmarted us in sometimes. But there were some professors who didn't care. Like some people just went there and just, you know, or some people been in another whole nother country, and their cousins they will log in for them, and you know, their cousins will basically log in for them and just not do anything. But you know, I really didn't like that. Like, I think if you're gonna learn something, you have to, you know, use your hands and be in person. I don't like learning through the internet. There's some things you could learn through the internet, but there's some things where you have to be in person, and where you can ask questions, where it's easier. It's easier to ask questions when you're in person and you raise up your hand and the teacher actually sees you and it's like, oh, I'll pick on you. But rather than online, because online you could raise your hand, but like, you know, it's just weirder. Like, she might have someone else talking, she might not even see it. Like if you press the little wave raise your hand button, she might not even see you. So it's just something completely, you know, different. And I'm very thankful that we get to actually go to class, go in person, and see the teachers, see the students. Because for some teachers too, it was also difficult, because there were some old teachers who weren't used to using online technology. So they got, you know, frustrated, they got pissed off. I remember one time a student was telling off a teacher like, oh, like this class is very disorganized and stuff like that. I'm like, I felt for the teacher, because she, you know, in a way she kind of had to adapt. Like, you always have to adapt in life. But I felt bad for her, because you know, she was old and she really didn't know how to use technology. So you know, I just felt for her. And yeah, hopefully this semester everything's back to normal, or a little more back to normal. This fucking Delta variant that we know nothing, I don't know, barely know anything about. I haven't read the news too much about it, other than like it's occurring in some countries, the Delta variants. But hopefully, like, we don't go to another lockdown, because it really, like, wrecked a lot of people. Like, a lot of people who don't have papers in this country, a lot of people who don't have savings, you know, they really got fucked over by COVID and lockdown. So hopefully this doesn't happen again. Then, you know, it's gonna bring the whole conversation of government's role in this, what government should do, what government shouldn't do. So it's just a feedback loop. So hopefully one day we'll just like stop enough, like finally, okay, COVID is down enough. Of course we're gonna get like COVID, maybe it might never be just 0%. Maybe we get like, you know, low cases here and there, maybe a little spike, but we just go back to normal life, because we can't keep taking risks forever. We can't keep going on lockdown, you know. At one point in time, like, the world needs to be open for it to, like, you know, function. So hopefully, you know, we learn from the previous year and about COVID, and in the future we are better prepared to take care of pandemics in whatever form they come. And yeah, I'm gonna return to college in September. I believe September 25th. I'm gonna return to college, and with in person, the college I go to, they require the doses, and I think you need a proof to get the dose and stuff like that. The proof of vaccination. I don't know what I'm saying, man. The proof of vaccination, then you can actually go in person. And yeah, I hope it's gonna be a nice time, because for the past year I have not I've not gone to school. I could say like I've not physically gone to school. And yeah, man, I really hope you guys take the advantage. Make sure you're grateful when the first day you step into that goddamn building. Be grateful, like, yes, I could finally learn in person. And yeah, I wish you guys the best of luck in the next semester. Next topic, boom, how we spend our most precious asset, aka time. Time is our most precious asset. A lot of people think it's money, but in my opinion, I think it's time. Like, you know, you get the same 24 hours as everybody, whether the person is Elon Musk, whether the person is George Washington, whether the person is Kwame Nkrumah. Like, you get the same 24 hours in person. It's just all, and everyone has a chance to, in a way, use that 24 hours how they like. So, you know, as for us youngsters, I try to use my time really wisely, because I don't know, I feel like we're young, and you know, a lot of people think that we have a lot of time, which we do have a lot of time, but at the same time we don't have a lot of time. So it's kind of like a paradox. So you have to use your time wisely. And the way I use my time at times, I need to get better at this, but because today I think I have like 7 hours of screen on time. I was watching a lot of YouTube videos and actually basically forced myself to make this podcast. But I'm happy I'm making this podcast right now. It's a little hard, and it's not as hot as it was in the previous podcast with Anna, but I'm happy I'm doing a podcast now. I have to really get myself over bed. But I'm talking about how we spend our time. You know, I see a lot of times in society we use our phones a lot. Our phones are what we use our time mostly on phones and social media and TikTok and stuff like that. And you know, I think everyone should be wary of the time and not spend maybe, let's say, 3 hours on your phone glued to 3 hours in a day glued to your phone, because those 3 hours are going to accumulate over time, and maybe in 10 years you spend like out of those 3 hours in a day, it accumulates maybe into like maybe 5 months in a year or something like that, you know. So, you know, yeah, basically it accumulates, and I want you guys to just like be aware of how you use your time, because time is really the most important thing. I don't want you guys on your deathbed. On your deathbed, I think the last thing you'll be thinking about is a freaking TikTok. Who knows? I don't know, because TikTok is a really new thing. But I think the last thing you'll be thinking about is a TikTok. You think about the memories and the laughs and stuff like that. Well, TikTok makes people laugh, but yeah. But all I see is a lot of people scroll through social media. I saw a tweet the other day. A lot of people, the tweet said a lot of people spend their lives looking at someone else's life instead of living their own life. And I was like, oh shit, that was a really good tweet. And you know, sometimes I think I just like, some days I'm like, fuck, I use my time so horribly. I wouldn't want to do this again. Like, I would watch a dumbass series or watch some dumb videos on YouTube. And at the end of the day, I'm like, is this what I might regret? Like, is this what a future Munir might, you know, not information that from a YouTube video that I'm not gonna use in the future. So I don't know, for youth, I feel like the best way to utilize our time is by investing in ourselves in forms of exercise, in forms of reading, in forms of talking to people, you know, laughing, actually hanging out with your friends. Because a lot of people on dates, they'll go on dates and they'll be on their phone, just like, you know, and they'll look at each other, have some talk, go on their phone again. So, you know, I feel like the phone just kind of softened that meaningful human relationship that we had. And don't get me wrong, like, phones are, I think they're amazing tools, man. A lot of people make a living on their phone, you know. They could call their relatives from distant countries. Like, phones are really good, and so I'm not like, I don't demonize it, but I just want people to be careful of how to use their time, especially on phones doing some dumb things. Like, especially like for me, okay, I know phones are important, like I said. So instead of me going to YouTube to watch dumb videos, like lately I've been starting to watch maybe historical videos and like maybe educational videos that, you know, like maybe in the future I'll use. And you know, like today I think I watched a video on what did I watch a video on like the Sahara Desert, and I think at one point in time in Earth's history it was green, then now it's a desert. Then maybe like in 10,000 years it's gonna be more like a savanna where there will be plants and there will be animals and stuff like that. So I just watch videos like that, like, and I like historical videos too, and you know, videos that I think that will improve my noggin, you know, because I like to learn a lot of new things. I like knowledge, and yeah, man, and yeah, because I feel like when you use your time to on useless things, on like gossiping and like thinking about other people's opinions, they don't really care about you, like a stranger's opinion. You're wasting time, and it's like time that you could have used to do something valuable, you know. So that's why for me, like right now, I really try to use my time really well, because especially another reason I use my time really well is because I've been working a lot. I've been working like almost 5 days a week, and it's like, oh, I don't want to be working. So on my days off, I make sure in a way to like utilize my time really well, because I know that I don't know how to explain this. Like sometimes when I'm working, I think, what would I rather be doing right now? You know, I'd rather be doing a podcast like this. I'd rather be reading or watching a YouTube video that might entertain me and actually give me some knowledge. So I don't know, when I'm working, it's like this is I don't have a lot of free time in the week. So the free time I have, I make sure I squeeze it and, like, you know, use every single bit of the time to do the things that I really want to do. And in a way, it makes me appreciate it, because when I work, I really don't want to be using my time to get money, or they're using my time to do something else in my life, because I think at the end of the day, time is more important than money, in my opinion. So I just try to appreciate my time more, because at the end of the day, at the end of your life, like, time is gonna kind of run out for you. And it's like, what did you do when you were younger, when you were youthful, when you had like all this power, all this muscles, all this, like, everything was so good for you? So what do you do with your time, man? Like, time is really, 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 really important. Also, a lot of people who spend on social media, scrolling through Instagram for hours and hours and hours, and that's like a click, an instant hit of dopamine. But it's like, what is it worth, man? Like, you just spend so much time on, maybe 3 hours a day on Instagram. That 3 hours a day you could have used to, or you could have worked out. Working out is gonna lead to a more better life, in my opinion. You could have hang out with your friends. You could have done a lot more things with those 3 hours, but those 3 hours just spent on our phone. And the thing is, a lot of times, like, it's slow. Like, maybe you just check Instagram for like 5 minutes, maybe once an hour, or then you check it again, like every single time for like maybe 5 minutes. But that 5 minutes, it all accumulates at the end of the day, and it turns into hours, and it turns into months, and it turns into years. So it's like, you really don't have that much amount of time. And I think Muhammad Ali said something too. I think he said he was like in a talk show or something, and he was like, in a 70-year life, like 10 years of that is sleeping, 10 years of that is commuting to and from work, 10 years of that is like, working, and maybe like 20 years of that is like, I don't know, just doing some dumb stuff. So at the end of the day, you really don't have, like, if you like calculate everything in life, the time that you used to do everything in life, and like just dumb it down, you really don't have much time in life. So like, the little time that you have to use to live, try to live it well. Try to just be, just be aware of your time. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys, because at the end of the day, like, I think like this 10 years is gonna fly by, 20 years is gonna fly by, and it's like, what do you do with the time? Because what you do today, you're basically investing in the future. You could plant seeds today. So instead of being on Instagram, maybe like do something that your future self will thank you for in 10, 15, 20 years. So, learn about, I don't know, what your passions, learn about investing. So maybe in the future you could be financially free, and actually, instead of them paying you for your time, you could be doing all sorts of things with your time. So for me, that's what I want to talk about, because I see a lot of us just not utilizing our time, and I don't want to just be on a deathbed regret, like, oh my god, you had so much free time, but you spent some dumb shit, and now look at you, now you're regretting. So that's what I'm going to talk about. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about, because I've been chatting for the past, I don't know, 20-30 minutes. And by the way, I'm doing laundry right now, so I'm pretty sure my clothes are almost done fucking washing, but here I am talking to you guys just to get you guys another clean podcast episode. And yeah, man, I also want to talk about, I think this summer I got a new job at a new spot, and it's basically a restaurant, and we sell burgers and stuff, and it's quite the work, man. I've been really working over the summer, working hard, working a lot of overtime, because I need that shmoney, you feel me? Gotta get the shmoney up, gotta get the shmoney up. But I feel like money is really important in this life. It's not everything, but I feel like it's important. Like, if you don't have money in this society, you're gonna get fucked up, So I feel like that's exactly using my time. I'm getting my money. So this majority of the summer I was getting my money up, because I think that in the future, maybe this money that I'm gaining today is gonna be of important use. And I want to do a lot of good things with money, because to some certain extent, if you want to do some good shit in life, I think you need to have money. And of course, there's like connections, and there's like persuading other people. But money really makes the world run. And but I have to be careful though, because I think this is saying for the love of money is the root of all evil. So I have to be careful of that, and like really be aware of my stance on money, which I just told you. Like, I think money is important, but it's not totally the whole thing. It's important in life, but there are other things more important than money, like your relationships with other people. I think that's more important than money, and your time too more important than money. But money is still right there, because there's certain things you could do with money that you can't do with other things. So I've really been grinding over the summer. I used this chance because I had a lot of free time. I wasn't taking any summer classes, so it's like I had a lot of free time. So one, I just get busy and work a lot, and get my money up, because even for college stuff, for books, I'm gonna need the money. Like the money's a lot of the money I have right now, I'm gonna probably use it on college textbooks, because I'm taking 15 credits this semester. Maybe that's like probably like $300, $200 on college materials. So yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to let you guys know like what I've been doing over the summer. And also with this podcast thing, this YouTube thing, I know it's not perfect, and I know I might be all over the place with my fucking speech patterns, and be saying the word like or this and that, but I just like everything good. I'm gonna improve over time. That's the whole thing. Like I'm satisfied, but I still think there's always room for improvement. I think if everyone had that mindset in the world, the whole world would be a better place, because a lot of people tend to get comfortable once they got something. They never have that hunger, they never have that drive to improve, and it just like stays stagnant. But the people always, little by little, even go down here and they improve, and they're really going far in life. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And in the next few months or the next few weeks, I'm gonna start college. So I'm gonna like dumb it down on work and really focus on college, because I really need to focus on college. Even though I fucking hate that shit, I swear to God, bro, I really don't like college. I like learning things on my own, and I like reading, and I like watching YouTube videos. I just like doing things on my own. I don't like relying on someone else to teach me stuff. I don't know if it's pride. That's the way I'm wired, man. Especially with the age of the internet, I could really learn a lot of things with the internet. If I want to learn how to cook, YouTube video, Food Network. If I want to learn how to do animations, there's whatchamacallit, I don't know, skill work or something like that. There's websites to teach you thousands and thousands of things. All you have to do is pay with money. Like I said, really important. And you learn things. But yeah, man. Another topic I want to talk about: Kanye West. I believe it was a couple of days ago I saw on social media he was doing that SpongeBob thing. He was doing the SpongeBob thing, and he was just floating to the sky. And I like Kanye, man. I really like his music. I'm a huge fan of him. And I might not be able to like name every single album he's dropped or every single song, but when his song comes on the radio, for sure I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna like I really like his album, The Saint Life of Pablo. What else? Graduation. Like, I love all those albums, man. So, and Donda, I'm like, come on, it's been a minute since you came out with an album, man. Don't be like Frank Ocean, who has not produced anything in the past like 10,000 years. So I was waiting on Donda. I was waiting on Friday night. Like, I barely wait on albums. I think I wait on Burna Boy albums. I wait on A Boogie albums. Like, I'm refreshing the set. Like, okay, come on, release. Let me play you. But this one was like, yo, this is gonna be the hottest shit of the fucking year, bro. But he never dropped it, so I don't know when. I really don't know when he's gonna drop it. I really don't know, man. But I think it's gonna be a good album. I think Kanye is definitely one of the GOATs when it comes to hip hop. He's been dominating the music industry for the past decade or 2 decades, you could say. So everyone like him and Jay-Z, those are really top there. Those are like really up there. But like, when is it coming out, Kanye? Come on, man. Come on. I'm starving out here, man. But oh yeah, another thing I wanted to talk about is the wildfires occurring over the country. I asked a lot of people, I asked people on my Snap, what did they recommend I talk on my podcast, and someone recommended wildfires to me. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna spread awareness so you guys know. And I also want to get into another thing about spreading awareness. A lot of people say that there's certain things they choose not to talk about, and it's okay. And I think a classic example of this was Abba and Preach. During the whole Palestine-Israel thing, a lot of people posting, a lot of people were condemning Israel and stuff like that, but they chose not to cover it because they didn't want to. Like, we really don't want to, and they got a lot of heat and a lot of, it's basically controversial. Like, oh, well, why won't you cover this? It's really unfair. Like, you should be speaking out on things like this, but they didn't cover it. So, yeah, they got a lot of heat for it. I think people are looking at me because, like, why the fuck is he talking to a phone? But they got a lot of heat on not condemning Israel and stuff like that. So that really begs the question, like, why do we need to speak on something? Like, is it by force? Like during the Black Lives Matter movement last summer, if you didn't post a black square on your Instagram, like a lot of people deemed you traitors and, oh, you're not speaking against all this and that. At the same, and I think there's a really good debate there. It's like there's so many bad things in this world that if you would want to cover everything and speak against every single bad thing, like you'll be speaking for the rest of your life, because there's so many bad shit. Like you cannot, it's impossible for you to cover the whole thing. So it's like, maybe I want to cover this, maybe I don't want to cover this, maybe I want to cover this, but like I'm not obligated to cover every single thing, because one, what the fuck is that gonna do? Like, okay, I'll talk about it. Like that shit, the bad shit is gonna keep going on. I'm not empowered to, I'm not in any way, shape, or form to, well, in a little bit, but you're really not gonna do anything if you speak against something bad. You're really not. It's no that much change. I would say there's a little change, but I don't think it's in a huge way that's gonna stop the bad thing. Like for example, like let's say Israel and Palestine, for example. I could say in a podcast, which I did. I condemned Israel and stuff like that. I did the whole, whatever everyone was doing. Nothing happened. For the Black Lives Matter thing, you post a black square, boom. What changed? So I don't know. It's a whole discussion. A lot of people, be really angry if some people don't speak out against it. It's like, well, first of all, what's the point? Because nothing's gonna happen. Second of all, there's so many bad shit in this world that I will speak against it, but no one would even know about. It's like, why would I give my energy to this when there's other things that I think is even more important, but no one really pays attention to. Maybe there's something in the world that's going on that's even probably worse than Israel and Palestine. Like no one knows about it, and someone will speak out against it. And no one's like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, that really, like, But anyway, yeah, the person said to talk about wildfire activity across the United States. So I went to the website. The website is called National Interagency Fire Center, and I don't know. They have a wildfire report. So apparently there's 107 large fires that have burned over 2 million acres across the United States. Washington, California, the states. I don't know, there's just a lot of states. Alaska, a lot of states. Yeah, Wyoming, Oregon, Montana. A lot of states are beginning, really destroyed by wildfires. And it goes to the conversation of climate change and what we're doing to the environment, because I feel like a lot of people, they don't care about the environment, and we should care about the environment, because the environment is the reason that we're alive here, and it enables us to live a good life. Because if you don't have fucking clean air, like, you're gonna have health problems, and you're gonna die basically. So everyone should be aware of the environment, aware of the world, because I feel like some people just want to block things off, but I think everyone should be aware of things that goes on in the world to make you make better decisions about life and make better judgments about life. Because if you're not aware about shit, like, you're gonna be left behind. You're gonna be dumb. I think it's not something you have to use, but I think everyone in life has to be just aware, like, of anything. I'll be aware of what's happening in this country, or be aware of what happened in history. Just don't be dumb. Don't like put what's the word? Don't purposefully just dumb yourself down and close your eyes and close your ears and just you know, not receive information. I think everyone should try as much as best to receive positive and negative information about the world, just for them to make better decisions on themselves. And that's basically what I'm saying. I really hope you guys understand what I'm saying, because I'm chatting, but you know, I still thank you guys for, if you guys are still tuned in, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love you so much. And you know, I'm just trying my best to make the best out of my life by doing this podcast, by making you guys, you know, like smile or laugh or some shit like that. I don't know. I'm chatting. But yeah, I just want to talk about them. Boom, let's go into the nitty-gritty. We're gonna talk about soccer. We're gonna talk about the beautiful game, the beautiful sport that attracts over 1 billion people in this goddamn earth. One, since I'm a Chelsea fan, if you guys didn't know, we're gonna talk about Chelsea news, buddy. We are gonna sign Lukaku. Fabrizio Romano tweeted we're gonna sign one of the most amazing strikers this generation has ever seen. I don't care. I'm gonna hype that guy up like he's Lewandowski or like Eric Haaland. Honestly, listen, I would have preferred Eric Haaland. Like, Eric Haaland was my #1, but like if he came to Chelsea, he would have destroyed the wage structure, because Chelsea is not a club that we don't pay our players as much as maybe Real Madrid will pay, or you know, PSG will pay their players. We pay, I think our highest earner is N'Golo Kante, and deservedly so, and he doesn't earn that much compared to, like, you know, Europe's most top earning players. So if Erling Haaland came, he would be earning absurd amounts of money that would just destroy everything. Now people are gonna start demanding more, like, hey, if Erling Haaland is doing this, why can't I earn this much? And you know, it's just gonna destroy the dressing room. So that's like one reason, like, if he came, it would have been disastrous. Two, his price, because he was expensive as hell, and we would have to pay his agent, they would have to pay his father like 40 million or something, like some insane number, and it's like, oh my god. One, you pay for his price. Two, his wage, like the wage structure. So it's like, at the end of the day, you're paying so much money. He's gonna be a record-breaking fee, and you know, it was just a lot of money, honestly. Like, you could have bought 2 players for that amount of money. So yeah, one, the reason that it would have been bad is the wage structure. Two, his price. And yeah, I think those are two main reasons we couldn't get him. Because other than that, like, we're an attractive club. We just won the goddamn Champions League, and we have young players, and we have a good manager who the club is investing in. So you know, why not come to our club? So I don't know, but Lukaku coming in, I think he's a really good striker, and I think he could really score a lot of goals. I believe he's like he's in the list of the 25 top most Premier League goal scorers, and he's paid not that much game time like the other people, like Harry Kane or Alan Shearer. So let's see what he does, because he was at his boyhood club. No, his favorite club is Chelsea, and you know, he's been around. He went to Man U, he went to Inter, and now he's on his way back. So you know, this is an unfinished business for him. So he's coming here. We've not had a good striker in a long time since Diego Costa. We bought a lot of people. Morata came, he wasn't that good, like really good to bring us titles and stuff like that. Who else? Timo Werner of last year we bought. We really thought he was gonna do a lot of shit. It was getting really dark, but we thought he was gonna actually gonna bang in goals. But I think it seems like he's gonna play in the left wing this season, and I don't think he's not gonna get a #9 role, because one, he's small, and Premier League defenders will bully you if you're the size and stature of Timo Werner. But I can't lie, he does contribute. He contributes to the game. He runs, he passes, like he does his stuff. But like that final end product, well, we need people, like, we need the ball at the end of the net. That's all the game of soccer is about, the ball being at the back of the goddamn net. And yeah, man, Lukaku I think is really gonna be like, I saw his highlights at Inter. He won the league with Inter, so I'm really happy to see him come back to Chelsea, and you know, there's a feeling of unease with him. Like he didn't really do a good job at Chelsea. It's like it's a second chance now. That everyone gets second chances. Now he could actually do fucking well and fuck some shit up. So I'm really happy. I think this is gonna happen. Like my number one chance, I can't lie, I'll say it was Haaland, but 2, Lukaku. He's good. Harry Kane, no chance, because Daniel Levy, that bald guy, is not gonna let us have Harry Kane. And the whole Harry Kane saga thing. If I was Harry Kane, honestly, I would be in the same position. I'm sorry. I know I love the fans, but I want to win them. I want legacy. Like, legacy is the most important things. Like, no one cares about how many games you won. People care about the trophies you won. And that's it, basically. Harry Kane has not won a single goddamn thing and of significant meaning in Tottenham. So if I were him, I understand why he's not showing up to training. I'll probably, would I do the same thing? Honestly, I would. Like, especially if I had a gentleman agreement, I would do the same thing. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna force him to move to Man City. I'm gonna force him to move to, I don't know, any goddamn club that has a 10% chance of winning a club, because Tottenham has 0%. I don't know what's wrong with that. That club, honestly, since I'm a Chelsea fan, our rivals are Tottenham and Arsenal. I hate Tottenham more. I don't know. Tottenham is garbage and stuff like that. But the next thing I want to talk about is Messi leaving Barcelona. Apparently he was supposed to sign a new contract, I believe, I forgot, 2 days ago, I believe, and he didn't. And because La Liga blocked something, and like Barcelona couldn't financially hold him, so they let him go. And it was really weird, because all of us were thinking like, oh, Lionel Messi gonna sign his contract. Lionel Messi gonna sign his contract. It's gonna be easy, boom. Because for me, I cannot see Lionel Messi in any other club other than Barcelona. It's weird seeing him in another shirt, you know. So he didn't sign, and because of his wages, astronomical numbers, bro. I don't know the real price, and I can't search it up because I don't have internet right where I am. But he earns a lot of money, and unfortunately Barcelona are not in a position to, you know, hold him. And I feel like I don't know how the season is gonna go without Messi, because he's been there his whole entire life, you know, and he's carried Barcelona at times. And you know, like, who's that star player that Barcelona has? Because a lot of people support Barcelona because of Messi. So when Messi leaving, if he goes to PSG, which I think is more likely right now, he's gonna take a lot of Barcelona fans. He's gonna take a lot of money with him. So it's sad. I don't know. I feel like it's sad. I wanted Messi to stay at Barcelona, because I feel like that's how the world works, man. Like, that's how the world is supposed to be. But unfortunately, that doesn't work that way. Messi has left Barcelona, and you know, it's just weird. I think he's gonna have a press conference tomorrow and just explain the whole thing. But the Barcelona president said they couldn't, you know, hold him because of financial troubles. And that was weird, because I thought he was gonna sign his contract, but unfortunately he did not. And our final thing I wanted to talk about was the PSG squad. If Messi comes into the PSG squad, I think they could win the Champions League, the league, everything. But I honestly, I want the underdogs Lille to win, because I don't know, I just like when underdogs win things with not people who are not don't have as much money as PSG, who are not as famous as PSG. I just like them to have that chance to just like show the world, like, we're really here, man. Like, fuck PSG. But PSG has a good oh my god, this is my phone. Like, they have Donnarumma, who they got from AC Milan, young kid, super duper nice goalkeeper. He won the Euros with Italy this summer. So like, he you know, and he still has a lot to prove, and he still has a lot of time to grow, because I believe he's in his early 20s, I believe 22, 23, and you know, he was the captain of one time. I think he was captain. I don't know what club, but I don't know. The main thing is that he was really nice. And what we have, who else? Sergio Ramos, which they got from Real Madrid. Sergio, the captain of Real Madrid and captain of Barcelona, they're gonna get. PSG are gonna be a force to reckon with this summer. They got Sergio Ramos, one of the best defenders of all time. Kimpembe, Achraf Hakimi, he left. So I was gonna say him as a fullback. Oh my god, it would have been a nice, but he's actually no. They did get him. Sorry, I was thinking about Inter. He left Inter to go to PSG. So Hakimi right there, like, that's a 6 years player. And Chelsea were interested in him at one point in time, but I don't know, it just the deal fell through. And honestly, I don't care because we have Reece James and Azpilicueta, and those two are good enough for me. Reece James is really nice. The way he bullied Sterling in the Man City UCL final, like, oh, sexy as all. What else? Who else? Messi, if not the greatest player of all time, arguably, he's gonna be in that squad too. Mbappe, young kid, won everything that needs to be won except the league. He's won the World Cup, he has won the league, he's won the Euros, he's won basically everything, man. Like, the kid is still young and he has so much time to grow and prove that he's still one of the best and one of the forces to be reckoned with. Who else? It's really weird, I can't remember everybody. I had a list, but I'm using my phone right now to record this podcast. Di Maria, still nice. Mauricio Icardi, I think PSG played today and he scored a goal. So, like, you know, there's so many players in this squad that they could win everything. Honestly, they're overpowering every single team. But I feel my prediction is like they're not gonna win the league. They're not gonna win not the league. They're not gonna win the Champions League because that's the really main goal. That's why they're spending money. They want to, the first time they really want to get a Champions League. They got. But it doesn't matter if you have a team of superstars. That doesn't. It's not gonna get you anywhere. Like, there are other factors that have to play. There has to be in play for you to win everything. And unfortunately, you know, I feel like they don't have it. The team bondage, you know, like that's another factor they need to have to win a lot of titles. What else? The fight. Like, a lot of teams need to fight to win stuff, and, you know, be. Just like if you're 1-0 down, you know, keep fighting. Some teams quit, some teams, but like there's the teams who fight, they're gonna go far basically. But I can like the PSG team is defensively tight, and the defense wins you championships and everything, man. That team is really good. They have a nice goalie, they have a nice defender, they have a nice leader at the back. Like, the sky's the limit for PSG. But in my opinion, I don't think they're gonna go anywhere. And basically that's it, man. That's all I want to talk about. It's getting really dark. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Ozigi Chronicles. I was everywhere. I'm pretty sure I was everywhere. I was like all over the place with everything. I need to work on my speaking. I'm gonna work on my speaking. I'm gonna work on just like making sure everything is really nice and good for you guys, so you guys can understand and you guys could, you know, even, you know, put some recommendations out there of what you want to hear, because, you know, yeah, I'm trying right now, but I promise I'll get better at it. Every single time I make major improvements to the podcast to help you guys be easily able to digest what I'm saying, you know. And yeah, there's gonna be a guest next podcast. A friend of mine, he's gonna come and we're gonna talk about a lot of things, and I'm really happy for that. See, this is why I feel like I'm better in a guest, you know, because I just let them do the talking and I supplement them and I add my own piece, and they, you know, they talk. Because a lot of people are smarter than me, so I like to bring people here who are smarter than me, who could educate me too, and you guys too. So yeah, man, I really hope you guys enjoy this podcast, and peace.